Tuesday night, mostly cloudy until midnight, then becoming partly cloudy. Chance of showers and thunderstorms. Lows in the upper 70s. South winds 5 to 10 miles an hour until midnight, becoming light and variable. Chance of rain 50%. Wednesday, partly sunny with chance of showers and thunderstorms. Highs in the lower 90s. Chance of rain 50%. Wednesday night, partly cloudy with chance of showers and slight chance of thunderstorms. Lows in the upper 70s. Chance of rain 30%. Thursday, partly sunny with chance of showers and thunderstorms. Highs in the lower 90s. Chance of rain 50%. Thursday night, mostly cloudy with chance of showers and thunderstorms. Lows in the upper 70s. Chance of rain 40%. Friday, partly sunny with chance of showers and thunderstorms. Highs around 90. Chance of rain 50%. Friday night, mostly cloudy with chance of showers and thunderstorms. Lows in the upper 70s. Chance of rain 30%. Saturday, partly cloudy with chance of showers and thunderstorms. Highs around 90. Chance of rain 30%. Saturday night, partly cloudy with slight chance of showers and thunderstorms. Lows in the upper 70s. Chance of rain 20%. Sunday, partly sunny with chance of showers and thunderstorms. Highs around 90. Chance of rain 50%. Now for the official National Weather Service forecast for the Naples listening area. This afternoon, partly sunny, then becoming mostly cloudy. Showers and thunderstorms likely. Tonight, mostly cloudy with chance of showers and slight chance of thunderstorms until midnight, then partly cloudy after midnight. Lows in the lower 70s. Light winds. Chance of rain 30%. Monday, partly cloudy. Chance of showers and slight chance of thunderstorms in the morning, then showers likely and chance of thunderstorms in the afternoon. Highs around 90. East winds 5 to 10 miles an hour. Chance of rain 70%. Monday night, mostly cloudy with chance of showers and slight chance of thunderstorms until midnight, then partly cloudy with slight chance of showers after midnight. Lows in the mid-70s.
July the 21st, 2019. Guys, welcome to the update. We're going to look at the tropics, and we're going to look at our national weather. We still have some remaining hot spots as far as excessive heat. Now, someone let me know how the audio is on this mic, and we'll go from there. But what you're looking at is the Invest 99 or 94L radar. You can see it's getting dark, and your satellite images is turning over to this night vision. But the storm is centered a couple of 100 miles off the coast of Florida. Now, as it gets night, notice that you have still have a strong rotation, but it's not developing a lot of storms around the center of rotation yet. In the last few frames, you can see that it's trying to. Now, the system is about to go into warmer water. It will continue to get warmer until it crosses the Gulf Stream that comes out of the Gulf of Mexico and moves up the east coast along Florida. So that's always a hot spot. Now, some of the models are changing, and we'll take a look at that, guys. Thank you. The picture's fuzzy. Hold on just a second, guys. Let me see if there's anything I can do. If you're on YouTube, you can go up on your resolution from maybe 360 or whatever. But guys, we're having light rain here. It's been kind of cloudy all day. We've got these kind of fronts shifting around out here in the Gulf itself. So just kind of hang in there with me. But I'm gonna go to some of the current models. Hang in there, guys. Now, what you're looking at is a series of models that we mentioned in the video earlier. And what we're seeing is, if you count these, and what's hard to see on this particular graph, you can see the light when it crosses Florida. Just below it is a dark green one. It's kind of hard to see on this image. If you count the models, we have 5 that are curving up into the Atlantic. One of those 5 is bringing it into South Carolina. It's called the HM2 model. Notice that green line. Now, if you count the kind of light purple line that's skirting the coast of Florida, right there, then you have 5 that track it either across Florida or into straight through into the Texas-Mexican border. And we have 1 model bringing it right into the New Orleans area. Now, this is going to change, but it's kind of a 50-50 split on this particular model. And if we look at the National Hurricane Center's information on this, let me pull up that one of the latest graphs here, guys. We will get this in. Now, if you can see this particular, let's see what we got here, guys, if I can get it up. Give me just a second. While we're doing that, let me get that particular image back up, guys. You're looking at the heat factors that are current. You've got 100 degrees south between Washington, D.C. and Boston. So this is where that heat's trapped all along the East Coast. Kansas City, you're at 100 in that area, Dallas 100. And this is the real feel index. But one of the things that I want to pull up, guys, is the National Hurricane Center's tracking map too. Give me 1 minute on that as you look at this. Again, you're looking at heat index. Now, what you're looking at is the 5-day graphical tropical weather outlook. It's still you're a 10% chance. But guys, you remember in the video earlier today, this cone, this morning early when we did the first video, did not touch Florida. It turned up the East Coast. Remember, it was almost a hard 90-degree right turn. Now you got it, the entire area of where the predicted center is in this cone is going into South Florida. So that's something that we're going to watch. Again, the storm has not wrapped the center of circulation with heavy storms yet. We're just going to have to keep an eye on it because of the warmer weather. Now, also, guys, in the 5-day forecast, let me get back over there. I want to show you a couple things there. And here on Fox in their particular area. Now, what they've done on the Fox system is take like the most popular 4 models, but it's not really going along with the National Hurricane Center. This is going to change, and I realize it. And all of you guys that watch this, you realize it too. But again, this is the most popular 4 models. But guys, this is just 36 minutes old. If you notice the timestamp at 8 p.m., this may be, again, updated at around 10 p.m. But the National Weather Service, the National Hurricane Center, has this thing tracking into Florida, just like this model right there. That kind of centers that cone. So it may not develop into a hurricane. We'll have to watch that because as it travels across the warmer waters. But we could have tropical depression, tropical storm come in, or you could just have high winds and waves and rip currents and possible flooding. And guys, if we look, and we'll do that in just a moment, back out and look at the entire Gulf of Mexico, then in that area, you can see that Florida's involved with a lot of weather already. It's not just something that's going to start. So the ground will be saturated as we go through the next few days. We had, guys, you remember Barry, and we covered it live, that we had about 2 or 3 days of that system setting off into the Gulf. That was kind of the tail end of Barry. Then as it pulled it up, we had a couple of days there of drier weather. But that's changed. And I just want to look at the kind of bigger picture here for just a moment, guys. Hang in there with me. And as this radar loads that you're looking at, give it just a minute. I've got it going back about 94 hours, just kind of give you an idea of what we're looking at. Now, this image changes as the sun goes down. You start getting these bright red night visions or this fire vision. But you can see just in this section as it loads again, it's good. It's paused for a second. Is that this area is exactly where Barry left its tail and for a couple of days as it drifted down the Texas coast. You can also see the other storms there that are here. Looking to the very bottom right of this image, and you'll see what is an Invest 94L. Again, as it goes dark, you're seeing the cloud tops, and if they start to wrap around it, which we'll watch and we'll know more about it in the morning, and I'm sure the tracks will change. But right now, remember the tracks are moving further south and to the west. Even the National Hurricane Center doesn't have it curving up until at least it comes into the Florida Peninsula. Now, we're right in central Mississippi, kind of in the middle of the screen, guys. The light rain. Here it is 75 degrees, 94% humidity. Real feel is 84. Now, I'm going to move this map as we look at a couple of others because we got weather up in the northern part of the U.S. that's may turn into some stormy weather before it's over. But again, guys, I'm looking at the comments here. Hey, 12. Just had a barbecue, drinking coffee here, trying not to nap. At 12, I got my first cup of coffee in my hand now. And same thing here. It's been a long day. We had a lot going on. And I appreciate all you guys hanging in there. Let me say something about the new website that I forgot to mention in the video about the new website. One is in the chat. You can add images. If you'll look in the bottom of that chat room to the left, there's a camera icon. And so many people will ask me questions about what's the best way to send the image of something happening in the sky or some weather phenomenon or whatever it is. Then go to the live chat at bpearthwatch.com. You can put your images in there. Then everyone can click on that, enlarge it. And that's the quickest. It's a secure site, guys. SSL all the way through GoDaddy. I don't think anybody's going to mess with you. So again, I just forgot about that. In that chat, we can put up images. And so many of you have asked me, how do I load images? And I can take the images from there, download them, and put them into a video if we need to. And again, I appreciate it. The site will change quite a bit. And guys, I'm going to change a couple of radars here so that we can get a better idea as far as the nation is going right now. Let me pull that up. Well, thank you, 12. I appreciate that on the new website. But as we go to this, remember in the video before, we were looking at a cool front moving down, guys, and there that will be a blessing to us because we're always hot all year long, but especially in the Northeast. And from the video earlier, as we look at this map, you can tell that it's starting to cool quite a bit. We'll pull up that National Weather Service map. And this is what we're looking at now, current conditions. And in this purple, you've got severe, you've got excessive heat warnings. And then in the orange, you've got heat watches. And you've got some severe thunderstorm watches in this area, guys. This is, I guess you would be in the border of Arkansas and Oklahoma, Kansas in there, guys, Missouri. you're in thunderstorm watches in the lighter color. Same thing is kind of occurring in this area, guys. There's no tornado warnings out, but there are severe thunderstorm warnings. What we'll do is after the video, when I back out, we're going to leave the stream going with some radar images and the NOAA weather radio from not only Miami area, but up in the Northeast also. But so we're still watching this, and we'll go to the live radar on this National Weather Service map. 1 second here, guys. We'll pull that up. And this is as this downloads, kind of pull it over into our area. You'll see that where the storms are up in the central part of the nation. Kind of get it moved over here, guys. We'll get it going into a loop. Hang in there. Again, as this downloads, notice here, guys, this would be, you've got Chicago, you got Illinois here, Indiana, and the storms that are moving right here across the border of the states. Now, this is kind of the mixture between the cool air moving from the north and the hot, humid air that's south of there. You've got storms that are moving. Everything's moving east, almost in a straight line, except this area here. Florida, you've got already incoming moisture from the Atlantic. So that's going to add to the problems of flooding. And Louisiana, right here, and coming into Mississippi, very southern part of Arkansas, and coming out of Texas, you have moisture that's setting up. Now, if some of those models hold true, we may see it come right back into the Gulf of Mexico. If it does that, it will have more time to develop. If it comes in and goes into southern Florida, that will immediately slow it down. But again, it may just be a wind and rain event right now. But the thing is spinning very fast. It's moving west-northwest at 15 miles per hour, much faster than what we saw with Barry. Now, we may get a call in. Let me see here, guys. I just got a message I'd sent out to our friend Matthew. That I don't know if he's going to be coming in or not, but guys, he's going to have a live show tonight. They got some breaking info. We'll be checking in on that during this show. I may even can pull in some of the audio from it. He said, I'm going live at 8 p.m. I got some breaking info that just came in. I heard the text beep, and he's been on the road. So they're we had talked about this yesterday, that if he got back in time and it didn't interfere with the other show, he may can call in. But we'll kind of check on those updates. But guys, right now, I want to go back to our radar that is over the section of the Atlantic just north of the Caribbean that has where we're watching the storm. And I'm going to kind of pull it up into a close-up of that region. Hey guys, hey Linda, hey Ken, all you guys, Phyllis, I see you coming in. Eric, Gene Miller, thank you, Benjamin, I appreciate it. Let's see, Linda is saying that you got bad thunderstorms down in the Mid-Atlantic. You can see that's popping up there. So that's what we're concerned about. Is that cool front moves down. We hope we don't have any tornadoes, but if we do, we will send a live update if it starts to get really bad where it's kind of piling up. But all of you guys in that area, make sure you got your local weather on, your weather radio, anything that you can get on your TV, as long as you have power. Now, again, I want to go back to one of the previous radars. I've got this set kind of as a long term. And here we go, and I'll look at it. Again, what you're seeing for you guys just getting in here is the system they're calling Invest 94L. We started watching it this morning on the first video. You can see the rotation here. In the last few frames, you can see some of the thunderstorms that are trying to pop up along that area of circulation. It's moving northwest at 15 miles an hour. So that's going to cut down on your time of development. The slower the storm, the more it can develop. And it seems to be trying to outpace through today some of the storms that were growing up from the surface itself. Not necessarily because of wind shear, just because of the fast pace of the storm. If you check that out, you can see it very clearly. Now, they're talking about this low pressure center moving across the southern tip of Florida now. So we got possibly through tonight and tomorrow before you guys on the Florida coast start seeing some higher wind, rain, waves, rip currents, things like that. And at 15 miles an hour, you know it's going to move very fast. One thing that's positive about it not forming is it's got to go across a few islands. And that will, especially the center, which you can see it almost doing now, that will slow it down some depending on the mountainous areas that it crosses in these islands. We will watch it as it gets closer. Also the 10 p.m. update from the National Hurricane Center and Fox 8. That's one of the best hurricane sites that you guys have down in Florida. Just if you want to know any information that's really up to date on some of the current radar in your area, they have it live. But this is what we're watching. It's important. Guys, we are kind of in a strange time. We're having record heat. I think June was one of the hottest months in history. And look at what's happening in July with all the heat we've been looking at in the last few videos. Now, as I want to go back and look at a couple things here. This is the real feel. And let me pull it up, guys. And this matters because of the storms. Again, this is at 7 p.m. Eastern. So it's not current, but it's not very late. So you're again 100 degrees between Washington and Boston along this area, 100 in Kansas degrees. You got parts in central Arkansas and northeast Arkansas at 100-degree levels. In our area, because of the cooling here in central Mississippi and the light rain, that's helped us. But in Dallas, all the way down, if you look northwest of Brownsville, they're in that 100-degree range also. So it's very warm along the East Coast. That's an indicator also that the water is very warm. The island temperatures are very warm. But as the storms push northeast tonight, we're going to have to watch that and watch the front that's pushing through, how it will affect the steering of Invest 94L. Now, as you look at that, I'm going to change a couple things on our radar and just kind of look at the long wave infrared of these images that we're checking out. But guys, I really appreciate you coming and spending some time with us. What happens is when you do this, every time someone will say, well, I'll let somebody else know about it. They're kind of in the storm area and they started watching. And you never know who you might help. Someone may get the heads up that wasn't really paying attention. Now, for all you guys up in the Northeast, make sure your cell phones are charged in case you get a high wind storm come through and knock your power out. And if you're in a situation where you have your water comes in through electric power from either the tower, the tank, or whatever, go ahead and fill up your bathtubs and stuff. You have some water to do whatever you need with. You can boil it to cook with or whatever. But those are little things that you notice really quick when it goes downhill. So just be aware of that now. It doesn't look like anything would be long term, but it is amazing with this heat, guys. New York will not admit it, but they're having some rough times with keeping their grid going. They don't, and the reason I don't think they want to talk about it is that so much money in New York City in that area that could have went to infrastructure has not been there. Probably a lot of social programs and free driver's license, if you understand what I'm saying. So they're not talking about, they haven't put money into it. They're just talking about blackouts that are occurring as as we see this go. But again, I want to go and pull up the infrared if I can get it going. Everything's loading a little slow tonight. I think it could be some of this light rain and our location. Go here, guys, and see what we can get up real quick. Thank you for bearing with me here. And you're looking at the infrared radar over the area where Invest 94L is. And you can see as it's still loading a little bit, but the yellow and red tops that you see in the last few frames here are what we would be watching. That would be any storm cells that would wrap around the center of this storm or center of this low pressure system and strengthen it. But it's now getting into the critical territory that we have to watch it, especially with the models turning south. I want to speed this up just a little, guys, just to kind of give you an idea of this rotation. Everything, again, is downloading slower than normal. A lot going on here. I've got some things in the background, but again, you can get an idea. The last few frames, again, that's what we got to watch. The green and yellow areas around the top of Invest 94L. Now, as we go back to the national radar, guys, that's going to be the most critical event as far as what's coming up quick, and that's overnight storms. So as we look at this, this is going to be important. And you'll see this if we, after this show's over, we may go over and check Matthew out, then watch for some a live stream coming back up if we start seeing tornado warnings and watches move through this area. Because that's what I wanted to talk about in this live stream. I didn't want to keep it long. I wanted you to kind of be aware of what we're doing and what you need to be doing. Again, you got storms in the Northeast. We have a system that could develop into a tropical storm. And then, guys, that's a lot of trouble if it comes straight across the tip of Florida. Some of those areas down there are still have not recovered from hurricanes in the last couple of years. And the path that they're showing now would go right over that southern Florida area. Let me kind of get this down in here. Again, you're already getting Atlantic motion, or as far as the storms coming through, they're coming from east to west, going northwest in this area. And just out here beyond the radar, the land radar that we're looking at is Invest 94L, and it's pushing this way. And guys, don't wait to the last minute. Most of you that are in Florida and along the Gulf Coast started preparing when Barry started coming in, and see, it pays off because now if you didn't need your supplies in, you may for this very situation here, both again, the storms on land and the ones that we're going to see. Remember, September 10th is the peak of the national hurricane season. So we still got, about 6 or 8 weeks to go there. So we're going to have to watch it. And it doesn't just peak and then stop September the 10th. It's a quick rise starting in the end of August up to that 10th. And then it's a slow drop back into November as the season dies out. Now, I want to look at one other section that they're not talking about on the COD radar. I'm going to pull that up as you continue to watch this. I want to pull it up till we can kind of see in the northeast there as I get this other radar ready, because we may, with the crazy weather that we've been having, I wouldn't doubt a 1-2 punch in some of these areas. But remember, we're going to go check truthnotfictionmatters.com. Most of you know Matthew. He said he has some breaking news. Then again, after that's over, watch for a live stream coming with some severe weather that we've been trying to keep an eye on here. And guys, what, as I pull this up, what we've been watching is down in the southern Caribbean. System came off land, and let me see if I can get this pulled up a little better. And it has some rotation for it, and that's why I'm concerned possibly about a 1-2 punch. And again, as I get this information going, you're watching National Weather Service radar. Guys, hang in there with me on this. If I can get the correct radar up in the right infrared, since it is getting dark, I can pull that area up that I've been watching down in the Caribbean. Let me see if I can get it a little closer to that area. But again, guys, on the National Weather Service information coming in, make sure your weather alert radio is on in that area. All right, guys, I'm not going to be able to pull that radar up at this time. I will, if we do a live update after Matthew's show, watch for it there. It's just coming off the tip of South America. You've got a slight rotation. I'll look at that a little closer, and I'll get some images up, and we can post images on the new chat at bpearthwatch.com. You can put yours there if you've got anything that you want to show us, whether it's weather phenomenal or whatever it is, space, earthquake pictures, tornado pictures, hurricane pictures. And I was getting a lot of requests from people during Barry that from Baton Rouge and all that had images that they wanted to share with us. And this is going to make it a lot easier. Let me get this. I've got one other radar that I can share with you now that, let me get it in here and see what we can do. It's going to take just a minute for it to download. Again, I think we got a little bit of slow movement here on this wonderful internet that I have tonight, but I appreciate you guys being patient. And as this particular image downloads, look at all the moisture that's already in the Gulf of Mexico, and look at all the energy that's there. You've got systems moving north, you got some moving south, some that's just lingering off the Yucatan going into the Bay of Campeche there. So there's a lot of energy, there's a lot of moisture, and there's a lot of heat already there. So if this Invest 94L that you see coming into the very right corner of this image, if it makes it into that area, all bets are off. We don't know what will happen. One thing about it, I can assure you, we will be watching it very close. Now, guys, I was going to keep it about this long, but again, with Matthew's text that came in saying that he had important breaking information, I'm going to break the live stream off here. And guys, I went over kind of what we need to be watching tonight. So just watch for live update coming with some of your local weather radar, radio, and things like that. But guys, I appreciate it. Again, just a short live stream. I want to get you guys over here. I kind of miss a lot of you from the Barry days, if you know what I mean, guys. We spent about 100 hours together over that entire scenario. We got this is what we're watching. And again, I'm going to sign out. Truth Not Fiction Matters is Matthew's channel at truthnotfictionmatters.com and Truth Not Fiction Matters on YouTube. If someone has a link to his show, guys, throw it in here now. Thank you, Phyllis. Hey, Susan, Skitties, Diane, all you guys, Jeannie again, Precious P. Thank you all for coming. And again, we'll see you over on Matthew's show. I'm going to end this now. Thank you, Joy. See you there, man.